Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, check this out. I've been meaning to do this video because I feel it's time to give people a reminder and a refresher of who started a lot of this, who made this situation between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury what it is today. Just want to give you guys a reminder. Now, let's go back to, let's go back to 2018. Okay, let's go back to 2018, December. Now, when nobody wanted to fight Deontay Wilder, and I mean absolutely nobody, he couldn't get the best fights. He was trying to fight the best people out there. After several attempts to fight Anthony Joshua, the fight just didn't happen for whatever reason. We know the reason why it didn't happen, and it is what it is. You know, Anthony Joshua asked for $50 million. Somehow, some way, Team Wilder, they found the proof of funds. They found the resources to get this fight did, a super showdown. Anthony Joshua then refused to make the fight, and so did Eddie Hearn. Then you just had a whole bunch of BS going on from, well, he needs to come to the zone and all this kind of stuff. Couldn't find no common ground. So nevertheless, whatever. So Tyson Fury, who was the former champ, basically trying to bounce back from all kind of outside issues, from, being outside of the ring, from drug issues to failed drug tests to just other personal issues. Deontay Wilder gives him a shot. And if I'm not mistaken, he get Deontay Wilder, who was arguably the hottest guy in boxing due to the fact that he was knocking everybody out, gives him a shot. Now, with that being said, they fight to a draw. Some people thought Tyson Fury won. Some people thought Deontay Wilder won because Deontay Wilder knocked Tyson Fury down twice. And to a certain degree, you can make an argument he knocked him down 3 times and he didn't get credit for, the knockdown. But nevertheless, some people believe that Deontay Wilder was robbed of a knockout by Jack Reese. I believe that Deontay Wilder was robbed of a knockout. Even though people say it's to the referee's discretion, but I seen Jack Reese pull the trigger quicker than what he did with Tyson Fury. But nevertheless, it is what it is. It is what it is. So then they have a rematch a year, some change later. They have it in Las Vegas. Tyson Fury wins. He defeats Deontay Wilder via TKO and in a dominant performance. And then a few weeks later, you start hearing things about Tyson Fury may have had an object. Deontay Wilder went to see a doctor. A doctor showed x-ray that there's no way that Deontay Wilder could have sustained the injuries he received via just regular fists. Then you seen the Tyson Fury's gloves look like they were not wrapped properly or secured properly. And then you hear in the second fight that he may have had a object. After Deontay Wilder let people see that he had injuries sustained from basically a foreign object possibly being in Tyson Fury's gloves. Now, this came from a doctor, and I think a doctor knows that whether injuries can come from knuckles or possibly an object, but whatever. So here we are now, almost a year later, and we have this controversy surrounding the fight. Some people have dismissed it. Some people are like, at the end of the day, the press have sort of like dismissed it, especially in media, because a lot of them want to continue to get their press credentials from, the PBC or Top Rank or whatever the case may be. But I don't care. But my question is about Tyson Fury. To anybody that's listening, let's just keep it a buck. What if Tyson Fury was black and had the history that he had? Would you be so quick to deem him innocent and say that the accusations against him are unfair and unjust? Okay. Now, first of all, me, myself, and along with a lot of the brothers in the LBC, we made a joint effort not to bring up race, not to make this about race. I didn't make this shit about race until after the second fight, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I made it a must not to talk about race because I also was trying to prove something. No matter who won, I wasn't going to make this about race because we was going to see the true heads prevail, the true talking heads prevail after this second fight. And when Tyson Fury won the fight, the second fight in Las Vegas, I gave Tyson Fury his credit. I congratulated him. And it was funny. Until the aftermath of the fight, a lot of Caucasian people, Eastern European white trash fucks, were nowhere to be found until after the fight. And then they were flooding a lot of the LDBC channels, just flooding various black content creators, saying, yeah, the white guy taught the black guy a lesson. They made it about race. But then they had the audacity to get mad if a black person talks about race issues. Hey, they the first ones to bring up, hey, can we not make this about race? And this is why I will always and continue to give y'all the middle finger. Go to hell. For real. Also, you don't want us to talk about race, but then you want to talk about race. You want to make something about race. They were the ones that started making it about race. And then, of course, when we started clapping back, then all of a sudden they're playing victim. They're hollering about, hey, this isn't about race. This is just a fight. For real. A lot of them did it. I saw the comments. They came on Quest channel making racial remarks. Came on 7H channel making racial remarks. Came on my channel making racial remarks. And we went out of our way not to make it about race. We just wanted to make it a fight. And then lo and behold, guess who came out the woodworks talking that race shit? And that's why, like I said, I don't pay attention to y'all when y'all be saying, hey, can we not make this about race? Like I said, once again, go to hell. Fuck y'all. Okay? And that's what a lot of Mayonnaise Nation members do. They kill me how they try to come on these black content creators channels saying, hey, I like your channel, but how about we not talk about race so much? Why? Who are you to tell me what to talk about on my channel? I don't take orders from melaninless mutants. For real. I'm just keeping it 100. Don't tell me what to say on my channel. Don't tell me what to talk about on my channel. I don't take orders. For real. But they the ones that brought it up. And like I said, as usual, when we started clapping back, then all of a sudden, then they saying, oh, the LDBC is making this a racist when it was them. And then you had these coon channels saying the same thing. Oh, it's just a fight. It's just a fight. So then weeks later, you started to see all these weird little things about Tyson Fury, about him having altered gloves, which there was a lot of evidence that said that he did do something. And Tyson Fury was acting weird going into the fight and after the fight. What's in it? What's in this water and all this kind of stuff? Man said after the fight he was gonna go get him some holes and some cocaine. Said that out of his own mouth. So you started hearing about possibly stuff being in his gloves. Then you started looking into his background. Former sparring partners, black and white, saying, hey, Tyson Fury likes to change his gloves and don't tell people. Tyson Fury has altered gloves and stuff. Keep in mind, Tyson Fury failed a drug test. And then it was possible that, he bribed people to forge documents. So all kind of shady shit just came up. Then not to mention Tyson Fury got caught red-handed in the Christian Hammer fight with his gloves not being properly secured. And then everybody is playing these games. And then his association with a mob boss, an Irish mob boss, who's tied to all kind of shady shit. Can you imagine if Tyson Fury was black and had the history he had? I guarantee you he wouldn't get the benefit of the doubt. Because we already know if you black in this country, you make one mistake, you considered a tyrant, an outcast. And you could be innocent and you still considered a tyrant or outcast. You could be not doing nothing and you considered a suspect. You are a suspect. And you a suspect just for being black. So you could save that shit. But like I said, if Tyson Fury was black, would you white people be saying is the same thing? Oh, these accusations, where are they coming from? It's funny that you notice they ain't said, well, Tyson Fury don't have no shady history. They just saying that we're lying and we're just hating and we just can't accept the fact that a black man lost to a white man. Yeah, yes, I can. I can accept it if the victory is legit. I can accept that the victory is legit. It is what it is. But there is some strange stuff that went on with this fight, whether people like it or not. And once again, y'all made it about race. Not me. You guys brought up the race shit, but y'all don't want to talk about that. And then you had these view holes that were thirsty for views, thirsty for subs, saying, hey, the LDBC or people affiliated with the LDBC or certain black content creators can't accept the fact that a white man beat a black man. But they did it, so they can, get views from, white people that think that they're more important than what they really are. Like I said, I done made this very clear. I don't need y'all. I don't need your approval. I don't need your validation. I know who I am without you. I don't need your pats on the back. I don't need validation from y'all. Never have, never will, because when it's all said and done, to be really truthful, I gives a fuck and a half what you think about me. Fuck your approval. And middle finger to you. Like I said, y'all made it about race. Y'all brought up race after Tyson Fury. And like I said, I just sat back because I knew this was going to happen. I knew people, the Mayonnaise Nation was going to show their true colors, that this was about race for them. That's why I don't talk that American stuff to me. Don't talk that flag shit to me. Because a lot of y'all white people was rooting for Tyson Fury. But then again, you guys show what time it is with y'all based off what y'all did last month when y'all stormed into the Capitol building. You've been showing who you are. But then you had the audacity to say, oh, black shouldn't root for black fighters just because they're black. Well, most of the time you don't root for black fighters versus a white fighter, whether they American or not. So like I said, once again, y'all made it about race. And like I said, be honest. If Deontay Wilder was Tyson Fury and had the background that Tyson Fury had, y'all know y'all would have convicted him by, court of public opinion, or should I say public white opinion. Like I said, I'm not afraid to say what a lot of these other content creators are afraid to say. I'm not worried about making people feel comfortable. I'm not. It is what it is. This your boy Town Biz. I'm out.